Namaskar, I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Are you planning to buy a new fridge or a mobile phone? Well, check the festival deals online first. Need to start a milk delivery service? Go online. Some tap is leaking in the washroom? Need a plumber? Well, online again. Some examples of why going online has enormous potential for smaller businesses today. That is where the customers are. It is not just because of the challenge of pandemic. Well, the pandemic is here today, may not be there tomorrow. But going digital promises a brighter future to the businesses with increasing customer reach, safer transactions, and ultimately higher profits and progress. In the recent years, data cost has gone down significantly, making internet accessible, affordable to the masses. More and more people have access to 4G connectivity through their smartphones, bringing a universe of products, services to a click of a button. The world of e-commerce is transforming fast. There are a host of platforms available from where you can buy, sell products and services and get excellent deals. You can also make your own website. Government has also embraced digital opportunity through GEM or Government e-Marketplace portal, bringing the exciting world of digital to your business and enterprise. This is Namaste Digital.
Small businesses are the backbone of our economy and communities. From shopkeepers to small and medium-sized enterprises, small businesses provide employment to over 11 crore people. Coronavirus pandemic has affected the economies everywhere, including India. Small businesses in India are also facing challenges because of the pandemic. Now, more than ever, internet and digital tools can help small businesses maintain business continuity and minimize disruption. Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has also asked the business community to invest in digital tools to keep them running and support the country collectively face this challenge. In this series, we will take you through helpful information about using digital tools and bringing your business online. From listing your business online and getting discovered by customers who may be searching for businesses like yours, to using digital payments for enabling contactless shopping experience, and setting up online stores for selling directly to customers anywhere. This is the beginning of your digital journey. Welcome to Namaste Digital. व्यापार की बात digital के साथ.
So in Namaste Digital today, we take the big step of taking our business online and be a part of the exciting universe of e-commerce. We will learn about how to take your business online, make your website or use other e-platforms to sell your products and services. A closer look at the advantages of e-commerce. We will also see how Government e-Market portal GEM is transforming governance. So let's begin our digital journey. So let us understand the world of e-commerce. First, let's begin with looking at some data and trends about the potential of e-commerce in India. India's share in global e-commerce ecosystem is about 3.4%. That's talking about the huge potential for growth that exists as far as India's participation in the global e-commerce ecosystem is concerned. Indian e-commerce expected to grow at 30% annual rate over the next 5 years. So a rapid growth is there on the cards if we look at the years ahead. The need for safety during pandemic, pushing the demand for e-retail, that's a trend that we've observed. The preference for the digital has really been pushed because of the pandemic and the restrictions that it brought with it. More than 5 lakh sellers are online as we speak on various platforms selling their products and services. So we see it's a diverse and a huge online ecosystem, India's e-commerce ecosystem, if we talk about the number of sellers who are there. Indian retail market is worth $850 billion, is one of the biggest in the world. It's the 4th largest in the world. We're talking about the retail market. So from there, we can imagine the potential that the e-retail market would have. Going forward, trying to understand the potential of the e-commerce sector in India. Indian e-retail market to reach nearly 30 to 35 crore shoppers. So many shoppers will be there online looking for the products and services that they want in about next 5 years. So we see the potential of growth that is there in the e-commerce sector. Online business worth 100 to 120 billion dollars by 2025 as far as Indian e-commerce sector is concerned. So there's a great potential, there's great business waiting for smaller medium businesses to come and be a part of it. E-retail has democratized truly the shopping with access to more than 95% of PIN codes. By access to PIN codes, we're talking about the delivery of services, the delivery of products is happening to remote corners of the country as we speak. Online shoppers in tier 2 cities and smaller cities and smaller municipalities make about half of the shoppers. So that talks about the kind of penetration that Digital India has been able to make and the way in which e-commerce is capitulating on it. Let's look at some graph data, the growth of e-retail and the kind of percentage the different countries occupy as far as the global e-commerce market is concerned. If we talk about the growth in the past 5 years, 14 to 19, India has registered a remarkable 36% growth, one of the highest in the world. United States e-commerce market grew by 10%. If we talk about South Korea, the growth is some 12%. China, an important player, recorded a growth of about 14%. If we look at the data of the past 5 years, we're talking about the growth of e-commerce market. Let's talk about the penetration of e-commerce in different countries from the global perspective, penetration by different e-commerce sectors of the countries. As far as India is concerned, it's about 3%. 3% India's share in the global e-commerce sector. United States, it's 16%. South Korea, is a tech giant, has a penetration of about 24%. China is way ahead, it's 26%, but that also talks about the kind of potential that India has of growing faster. It has examples that lies ahead. Now we're heading for a short break here. When we return, we'll learn from our expert about the subject of today's Namaste Digital. Stay with us.
Namaste India.
Namaste Land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind.
Zari India.
Salam India.
Namaste India.
नमस्कार भारत.
Mui
Nous
India.
sommes là.
Nahnu hunud.
Kita India.
माँ हिंदी हस्ती
Mung Hindian.
सलाम हिंदुस्तान.
We are India.
Welcome back. You're watching Namaste Digital. Now, I know the first step always appears to be the most challenging one. It is true for going online as well. Let's do it together and learn from our expert Madhura the basics of e-commerce and the tools to start selling online.
Hi, my name is Madhura. I am a YouTube creator and I share Marathi and Indian food recipes on YouTube. I am a co-founder in e-commerce venture wherein we are selling authentic Maharashtrian masalas which are curated by myself. Today I am going to share how can you bring your own business online and start selling to customers everywhere across the country and potentially even beyond. You may have already heard the term e-commerce. E-commerce is just another name for selling things online. Whether you are a retailer, a service business or a wholesaler, there are many ways you can use e-commerce to reach more customers and increase sales. Now the key benefits of selling online that are especially relevant in the current times are: the first is increased reach. You can sell to customers anywhere in the country or the world. You are always open. Unlike physical shops, customers can visit your online storefront anytime and buy from you. One more, you yourself can run your business from anywhere. It's simple and anyone can do it. There are many different tools and platforms available these days that you can choose from based on your own business needs. There are many solutions available and they broadly fall in two categories. The first category is creating your own online storefront, e-commerce portal and selling directly to customers. Second category is listing your products online with the help of an online marketplace or an aggregator. Let's go one by one. Your online storefront is like having your own shop in the online world. Customers can visit your online shop, browse the products and buy the items they like, just like they would do it in the physical world. Now depending on your needs, there are several solutions that you can use. Most of e-commerce solution providers offers solutions ranging from basic to advanced levels. At the simplest level, these tools can help you accept online payments using different payment methods. You can use a custom payment link that is tied to your account or business so that your customers can transfer money for the items they want to purchase from you. The next level of tools help you add product pages to your website so that customers can learn more about the products and buy the ones they like. Features like payments are already integrated with this. The more advanced versions include features like product inventory management, checkout order management, and more. Many of these solution providers also have integrations with logistics and delivery solution providers so that you don't have to worry about shipping the products to the customers yourself. Many of the solution providers also offer a free trial period which can range from 15 days to a few months to help you get started. You can visit the websites of these solution providers to learn more about their features, support level, and pricing. You can also list your products online with an online marketplace or an aggregator. There are several popular online marketplaces and aggregators such as Flipkart, Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato, LBB, Urban Clap, among many others. Online marketplaces can be helpful to start selling online or even add additional distribution and revenue stream for your business. One of the big advantages of using online marketplaces is that they already have a customer base that is on their platforms for products similar to the ones offered by you. Now the process of listing your business or products on these platforms as well as their pricing model can differ across different solution providers. You can learn more about those by visiting their websites or contacting their seller support teams. Before we close for the day, some tips for the success of your online storefront. Invest in a domain name. Most e-commerce solution providers offer you an option to choose your own domain or create a storefront on their main domain. Having your own domain name and website gives your business a more professional look and helps in creating its own identity for customers. High quality product pictures and videos and well written informative content will help your customers make the purchase. Leverage search engines and social media to promote your business. Much like your physical business, you can also use these tools to promote your online business. With this, you should be able to take your first step towards getting your business online. I will take your leave now. Keep learning. Namaste.
So that was Madhura telling us about the first steps to be taken to take your business online and embrace the world of e-commerce. Now we'll take our conversation further about taking business online and the potential of e-commerce. Three eminent guests are joining me for this program now. Let me introduce you to our guests joining us in the program. Dr. Rajiv Kantapal, Joint Secretary and CFO, GEM. That's the e-market portal taking India's public procurement online. Welcome, sir, to this program. Also, Praval Singh, Vice President, Zoho Corp. Zoho is a software company that is committed to solving the problems faced by smaller Indian businesses. Welcome, Praval ji, to this program. Also joining us, Sujit Kumar, co-founder Udaan. Udaan is a well-known B2B e-commerce platform designed specially for small and medium businesses in India. Warm welcome, Sujit ji. Warm welcome to all three of you. Thanks for joining us in this program. Dr. Kantapal, if I can begin with you, we'd like to understand the potential first of online platform in transforming governance, the manner in which GEM has been able to do that, bring in transparency, bring in productivity. How has been the journey so far? If you can tell us about that first.
It's been a phenomenal journey. Let me tell you, we were established in August 2016 and we have come, it's been about 4 years, and in these 4 years of our operations, we have today about 6.36 lakh sellers online. We have been able to create a community of so many sellers online. There are about 50,000 odd organizations who are buying on the platform. So this is the kind of response that we have received from the government buyers. In the 4 years of our operation, we have done a business, say a gross merchandise value, the total value of the goods and services sold on the portal has been about 63,000 crores. So that itself, these figures are testimony to the kind of potential that GEM has and the kind of reformation GEM has done to the public procurement system. The objective of this project was to set in place a kind of a contactless, cashless and a paperless mechanism so that the public procurement system can be made more fair and more equitable without any issues of corruption, etc. And to that extent, it can be said that GEM has been a very huge success because it is a completely digitally online marketplace, no need for any paperwork, so that kind of buyer's decision making is enhanced to that extent. So all these monetary as well as non-monetary benefits that it has been able to provide to the government buyers, I would say in one word, it has been a fantastic journey for us.
Right. All right, talking about the potential of e-commerce, Prabalji, I'd like to come to you. As compared to the vast retail space in India, how do you see the potential of the e-commerce market in the country and the potential for growth in the years ahead?
First of all, thank you, Shubhendu, for having me on the show. And speaking of the percentages and growth, while the percentage of e-commerce in terms of total commerce in India is below 4%, what's optimistic for me here is the way it's growing. The growth percentages we're talking about is upwards of 30%. What that means is the way the country has adopted internet, mobile phones, and technology as a whole. That's a very positive in terms of how I look at it. Specifically about the e-commerce, I think what e-commerce brings in today, especially for small and medium business entrepreneurs, is being able to expand their reach, which is to get more customers, B, to be able to directly connect with customers, which at scale was harder to do, but thanks to the internet, that becomes possible. And that's the reason why we are seeing a lot of DTC brands, what we call direct-to-consumer brands, in areas such as gourmet food or be it something as technology, e-learning. A lot of these companies and brands are coming up now, or what we also call startups, which would have not been possible without the E side of e-commerce, which is the internet, playing a big role here.
Right. Sujit, I'll come to you now. Because our program is dedicated to the needs of smaller, medium businesses, and we're talking about the huge potential of the online space, what opportunities in particular lie there for the smaller businesses? I understand your organization is also committed towards empowerment of smaller, medium businesses. What opportunities lie there for them? In what way is the online space providing a sort of level playing field to numerous businesses in the country?
Thank you for having me here. I think it's a great place where we can discuss this, and it's a great where and reach out to the needy people, because I see the penetrations where I think smaller town through the Doordarshan medium we are reaching. I think that the right way of communicating. I think coming from, I have a diverse background. I come from B2C e-commerce, and then now we are solving B2B e-commerce. In India, if you'll see a huge potential. So more than $1 trillion trade happens in this country, or of various categories. So be it it's a food grain, be it it's clothing, electronics, any of this, like trading happens around 1 trillion. That's our data, I think 10% here and there, and growing very fast. In that, there are 60 million MSMEs and 30 million, all put together, 30 million retailers are there. More than 90% of the consumptions happen through these retailers. These, I think that the vastness of the space where Udaan is solving that problem. Reaching, so if you'll see, we are solving the problem on various fronts.
Right.
And why it's possible in now, because in last 3 to 4 years, various structural reforms had happened. Be it GST, be it the penetrations of Digital India. Prime Minister vision was there, digital empowerment to all the smaller businesses. It has made it possible to reach to the various places in India. So all these structural reforms made it possible to do the e-commerce in a more appropriate way, rather than having only tier 1 or tier 2 town phenomena going into the Bharat rather than India. So that's what we are solving for. So we are solving supply chain logistic. If you'll see, we have our Udan logistic, Udan Express we call it, which reach more than 900 cities.
Okay.
And we have around more than 30 lakh retailers which are buying from our platform. Some of the cities, if you'll see, like in I can give some of the cities on the food side of it, as high as 15 to 20% of the food grain and FMCG as well as fresh, we are supplying for the whole city.
So Sujit, there is a greater potential for the growth in that case. I take that point, an important one there. Now let's take the discussion forward. We've also gathered some questions, some queries that sort of represent the concerns of smaller and medium businesses. Let's look at the first question that has come in for today.
Hi, I'm Dheeraj Kotari from Mumbai. I have a family jewelry business. During the lockdown, my shop was closed for 3 months, and we realized that our business should be online as well. I have a question. From where should I start? Should I have my own website, or should I join a big website like Amazon and Flipkart? If I join them, what are the advantages? And if I start my own website, what are the investments?
That's a fundamental really question. When we talk about e-commerce and going online, should we make our own website, or should we use an existing popular website and sell our products and services on that? Praval, if I can bring that question to you, what would you advise?
Sure. We've seen how e-commerce has penetrated over the years, and there are two primary ways. One is the marketplace or the aggregator method, and the other is owning your own, what we call e-storefront, or a website in simpler terms. Now, this is not an either-or approach for most businesses. But what I would say is, let's understand how we differentiate between them. Both are good, but depends on A, who are you selling to? B, what are you selling? What is your risk, ability to take risk, capital, all of that? I'll give you some examples. Let's say you're selling an item that needs a lot of brand building, connecting with your customers, establishing a long-term trust, things like that. So investing into getting your own website, building a online store of sorts is not a bad idea. But that doesn't necessarily stop you from listing your products or services on a marketplace if you are looking at serving a larger customer base. But here's the challenge. Let's say you're selling something which others are also selling in a similar capacity on any of these platforms or aggregators. It's harder to differentiate yourself as a brand, right? So it's easy to get on board, maybe get some early customers, but when you're looking for the long run and you want to differentiate yourselves, make your brand discoverable, connect with your audience, build a brand. It gives you a
more unique identity.
Absolutely.
Sort of
you build that brand, build that entity for a long-term game. For that, you need to invest in a website, which today is not a big deal. It's not very difficult. It's not expensive, unlike what it was, let's say, 10 years ago, right? So that's how I look at it.
So then it really boils down to the choice of the business person. How would you like to go about it? Both the options are open. Let's now look at the next question that has come on Twitter for the program. Now, Vipul is asking, what is the advantage of GEM platform? What is the eligibility for vendors, smaller businesses to come on this platform and sell their products? Dr. Kandapal, if I can bring that question to you, a very specific question about the GEM platform. What is the eligibility for the vendors? How can a vendor sell their product or service on this platform?
To put it very briefly, there are no eligibility conditions. If you have a product to sell, you need all you need is a PAN number and your other contact details, and you can be there. It's absolutely free of cost. Registration on GEM is absolutely free of cost. You don't need to pay anything. Please visit gem.gov.in, and there all the instructions are there. So, and alternatively, you can also go to, say, the MSME, the Government of India's MSME website, wherein you can apply for your MSME registration, the Udyam registration, and if based on your consent, we can capture your details from there, and we can also send you a link so that you can onboard yourself on the portal, and you can provide your products there, which are now then open to selling to the government.
Right, and so also given that there are so many marketplaces, e-marketplaces available now, the question was also about what are the unique advantages of GEM, why a person should choose GEM over some other platform?
So GEM, I would say that GEM differs in nature with other product e-commerce portals like Amazon or Flipkart, is that this is a portal where there is strictly government buying. That is, all the buyers here are government entities of one sort or the other. They could be central government departments, they could be PSUs, they could be state governments. So in case you are willing to sell to government buyers, to government entities, this is the place where you should be. And we have already built in a lot of functionalities to assist, because obviously government buying has a lot of rules and some algorithms which need to be complied with. We have accordingly created bid process modules, purchase order, etc., so that you can sell to the government. So the brief point here is that GEM is a portal where you can sell to the government, and for all government buyers it is mandatorily required now that they have to procure their common use goods and services through GEM only. So this is something in which is very important. In case you want to sell to the government, you are welcome. Please get onboarded here.
All right, so GEM is open for different sellers and businesses to go online, sell to the government organizations. Let's now look at our next question that has come in.
मेरा नाम है उमेश दत्ताराम गुले, मेरी शॉप एट वर्ली में है। शॉप का नाम है श्री अन्नपूर्णा जनरल स्टोर। मैं छोटा सा रिटेल का बिजनेस करता हूँ, ग्रोसरी का। मुझे मेरा शॉप जो है ऑनलाइन करने का है। इसके लिए कितना खर्चा आएगा, कस्टमर रिपोर्ट मेरे को कैसा मिलेगा?
So how much will it cost if one were to take one's business online or website or a platform? Sujit, if I can bring that genuine concern to you, how much does it cost? Various options of going online, be a part of e-commerce, and also what kind of customer engagement do the online platform also help in? That was the question. Sujit, to you.
Yeah, I think that's a very relevant question. And so there are two aspects of it. One is called digital identity, and one is called doing the trade online, which we call it e-commerce. So I will definitely tell first, create your digital identity as a shop, right? Do the geotagging, do your website, make a cataloging and all, so that at least those are the qualifier. And as a concerned person asks how much it costs, I think it's a journey, because let's say if you are started today, you are 100% offline, then start taking one by one step. Let's say first create a digital identity, and then list your product, some of your hero product, on the portal which are available as an e-commerce portal, and start promoting them rather than push all your business, all your catalog. Learn from them. Learn how to price, learn how to catalog, learn how to servicify, start having order management. All those, so take it as a journey, and that's how your percentage of business online with the time will grow, and then offline. Because ultimately, I think without journey, it's not like switching one thing and taking the shape another day. It's not possible. So I think one has to understand it's a journey. It's a great idea. Everybody, I think the small, medium, large, everybody, it's a movement. Everybody has to invest in that direction. So without giving a second thought, start investing, adopting online, creating digital identity, go online, sell your product, and then ultimately go 100%.
Right. Prabal, I'll also like to bring that question to you. Particularly when we talk about the online space, there is a concept of reviews and feedback by the customers. We often go for a product or a service that has got good number of stars and reviews by customers. So how significant is that aspect when a business person or a seller goes online? How conscious should they be about the kind of feedback that they're generating for the service or product?
Yeah, one thing that the beauty of selling something online is because there is it's pretty much digital. It's there's a URL that points to your product or listing. And then there are ways to collect social proofs or reviews or testimonials which stay there. And most products we see online today carry some form of social proof or testimonials. Now, it's also a feedback mechanism. If, let's say, you are a small store, you went online, you started selling something, you're getting a lot of demand, but let's say you're not able to fulfill that demand. That's also a challenge, by the way, which often small retailers don't think about before they get online, right? You will start to get, you are able to place an order as an individual, you're not really getting the item on time. That will lead to negative feedback, negative commentary, negative review. All these, it sort of works like a feedback loop for a small business, but also it helps as a sort of an ad, in a way where a lot of us like to believe what others say about something than what the brand or what the owner herself says about it, right? So that social proof is very, very important, and e-commerce gives us that platform. That's why you see most platforms, be it aggregators and marketplaces, or be it individual sites, there would be a section, there would be a field where there are reviews written about it, ratings given on the product. So that actually makes it fairly transparent, I would say, in terms of both the buyer and the seller.
Interesting platform for engagement between the sellers and buyers there if businesses go online. Let's now look at the next question that has come in. You ask, we answer.
मेरा नाम स्वरंजलि राजू गायकवाड़ है। ये मेरा गारमेंट का शॉप है, लेडीज वेयर का सब, और ये मेरा ऑफलाइन चल रहा है। अभी मैं ऑनलाइन करने का सोच रही हूँ, लेकिन थोड़ा डाउट फील होता है क्योंकि ऑनलाइन में बहुत फ्रॉड हो रहा है।
All right, there's a concern about safety, whether it's safety of data, product or services online. Dr. Kantpal, it's a valid concern. I'll bring that to you. It's also a concern that reflects upon the safety in the larger digital ecosystem of the country. What measures can you tell us about GEM in particular, also the measures taken by the government to make our online ecosystem safer in the country?
Safety and security is, in any case, a very genuine kind of a concern that a user may have to think about. As far as GEM is concerned, we are a completely secured website. We have a kind of a market sanity policy, which we ensure that all sellers who come who are onboarded, they go through a very robust kind of a vendor selection process. The products are screened for quality. And so these are the kind of measures that we take to ensure that sellers, after they have joined here, or the buyers, they do not go through a bad experience. As far as the payment system on GEM is concerned, it is a kind of a very foolproof government payment mechanism. There are 2 or 3 payment mechanisms. Typical government, any typical government department would be using the public financial management system, which is a highly secure kind of a gateway. And it can always be said that there are maybe some security audit issues, but always GEM has strived for security and safety first. And we have had all kind of audits done, all kind of auditory compliances are there. And I think that is the first and foremost requirement for any kind of a digital marketplace to offer.
Right. Prabal, if I can bring that question to you as well. You represent a software company. You must, on a day-to-day basis, face such concerns. If you can tell us about what measures our company is taking, and also when we talk about frauds, what are the common sort of incidents that new sellers going online must be careful about?
Sure. If you look at how e-commerce has grown over the years, back in the day when you wanted to sell something online, you would have to find somebody who would build your website. That person or that company would maintain your website. You would be sharing pretty much all your customer data with that company or individual. All these things made the whole equation very scary. People would be worried about their upfront investment because that was expensive. Now with software as a service, SaaS model being there, it's so easy to put your website up as a store up. I mean, as quickly as within an hour, you can be up and running your product website with your product catalog, some details, your entire payment collection process, all of that, right? And with your branding, even your domain name if you would like to. So all that has become very seamless and cost effective. We're talking about not thousands and lakhs, we're talking about as low as 1,000 rupees a month kind of a price, right? That's where we are today. Now, in terms of safety and security, because this is a SaaS service, you don't have to manage your servers. You don't have to worry about who owns my data. All of that data is owned by you. Depending on the service provider you choose, your data can be hosted within the country on safe and secure data centers. So the entire technology bit of it is something as a retailer, as a businessman, you don't have to worry about, right? That's where we are today. And e-commerce platforms, be it aggregators or independent e-commerce storefront providers, both have come across, as very helpful for taking these businesses online today.
So it should be fair for newer businesses going online to inquire about the data, where it's kept vis-a-vis the e-commerce platform that they choose. Let's now look at the next question that has come in for You Ask, We Answer. It's a Facebook question. Gautam is asking skilled workforce requirement for opening online business as compared to a physical shop. Interesting one, Sujit, if I can bring that to you. Many businesses who are running perhaps a physical shop, there are very specific infrastructure, manpower requirements that is there. If you were to go online, how will that change?
So I think there are various platforms are available where you can sell your stuff. So there are kind of e-commerce which is like goods and service. This is a service aspects of it, and there are platforms like Urban Company and all where these services are available, where mechanic or repair or AC maintenance or various kind of service, cleaner. So, but I think the challenging aspects are their contours or their catchment areas are limited, like within 2 kilometer or 3 kilometer or 5 kilometer maximum. So I think first they have to reach out to list themselves on their services on these platforms. And these various platforms where they can say that just dial, am I right? Just to start with, to start the engagement and giving them the surveys. And they have to be very clear. First, I think they're creating a catalog of services, their prices, their reviews, because in service reviews are very important. Like how senior you are, how delicate service giver you are. So those aspects they have to address, make that, as I said, digital identity, list them to the authentic platform, good platform, large platform where traffics are there. So that's how they start building their business. And I will recommend everybody, and especially on the services aspect of it, they should invest and creating their portal, digital identity, clear-cut services, reviews are very important. So that's my suggestion.
Right. Dr. Kanbal, if I can bring an aspect of that question about skilled workforce. So if a business wants to go online, do they need a specialized team, or can they manage it themselves? For instance, if we were to talk about GEM platform, what advice would you have for them?
So what we do at GEM is we have a very ambitious kind of a capacity building component to our program, wherein we keep getting in touch with buyers as well as sellers, and we try to address the kind of issues that are told to us. So each year, somewhere in December, we have a GEM Samvad, which is a very kind of a comprehensive program where our officers visit the nooks and corners of the country. They have dialogues, interactions with the buyers as well as the sellers. We collect the issues and then we try to resolve these issues. We also have online learning mechanisms available. So what we do is on our portal, when we see that some issues are currently being pointed out to us, we develop online learning tools and we try to provide them to the sellers or to the buyers. We have a very good team of business facilitators who are willing to assist you. Any seller should any seller have an issue or any buyer have an issue.
So there is a hand-holding being done for
a team we have put in place in order to ensure that the sellers are not put to any inconvenience while they are using the issues of skill are addressed properly.
All right. So there is an important hand-holding being done to help smaller, medium businesses adapt to the online ecosystem. Time now to take the next question that has come in.
मेरा नाम साक्षी संभाजी शिंदे है, मैं मुंबई से हूँ। मेरा ये छोटा सा शॉप है और शॉप मतलब सब प्रकार से सब प्रोडक्ट्स है, बट ये शॉप ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन में कैसे चलेगा इसके बारे में क्वेरीज और क्वेश्चंस है। मतलब जितना मेरा ऑफलाइन चल सकता है उतना मेरा ऑनलाइन चलेगा कि नहीं।
Interesting there. Prabal, I'll bring that question to you. Sakshi seems to be working, she's at a grocery store, and more emphasis we give on digital space does not mean that physical shops become obsolete. How do they work together? Can they coexist, offline businesses, online businesses together? How does it work? How can one strike a balance?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, like Sujit also said, when you are an offline business already and you're looking at going online, start small, right? Start with having maybe a website, an identity, put your key products there, the basics, the pretty much anything that you think would help you build your online presence to begin with. Now that's on the website, web store front. Similarly, if you're selling groceries, as the lady mentioned, right, you might want to list yourself on the aggregators and the marketplaces as well, right? And start small. I mean, you don't have to list the entire store there, right? Start small, put up some products there, right? And see what works. Certain products might sell better than the others, then you know what to come back to, right? So it's more of there's no one rule that sort of, justifies all stores, the entire online commerce strategy, right? And again, there are a lot of nuances in this, right? Area in which you operate. Is it a tier 1 city, a tier 2 city? The kind of products do you sell? Are you selling a grocery which is consumed by every household, or you are selling something specialized, let's say gluten-free flour? Now you have a niche audience there, right? And then there are ways to tap into those niche audiences and markets. So it's an onward journey where you start small, you learn from that, and the best part of all of this is the barrier to entry is so low today that the only person stopping you from going online or taking your store online is you yourself, nothing else, because the barrier has come down so low today.
Right. Dr. Kandapal, if I can bring an aspect of this question to you, especially talking about markets, especially talking about the two-tier towns. We saw in data that many of the buyers, almost 50% of them, are located in two-tier markets. Again, from your experience from GEM platform, tell us about the sellers who are present on these platforms. To what extent are smaller, medium businesses from smaller towns represented on this platform?
We have a very geographically, if we look at the seller base of GEM, I believe we have a very expansive coverage, and almost from all the districts of India sellers are coming, maybe barring a few districts. What has been really satisfying to note of late is that even the remote parts of the country, say in the northeastern parts or Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, we have had so many requests from sellers from these regions to onboard on GEM and sell their products. So basically, whereas most of the sellers are say from states like UP, Maharashtra, MP, Gujarat, but a lot of significant, I would say as many as 40% of our seller base is coming from the tier 3 and even lower down remote parts of the country. We now have a very new kind of a initiative wherein we are trying to onboard weavers, artisans, and rural tribal handicrafts, etc. So which will further move on to make our seller database really geographically.
So as we're moving towards the conclusion, let's also quickly take some more questions. A question has come on Facebook from Kavita. Let's see what Kavita is asking. Kavita is asking how to create space for our business online when multiple sellers are selling the same product. An aspect of competition as well. Sujit, if I can bring the question to you briefly, if you can tell us, when there's so many sellers selling the same product, how do we distinguish, how do we stand out?
I think it's a great question. I think, and one has to understand, and every businessman understand how to do the business. Only I think that logic has to be applied online. So means the quality of the product. So the quality of product here translates into the quality of cataloging, reasonable pricing, reasonable policy. Let's say because you are here online, you are doing the transaction without touch and feel. So that has to be backed by good policy. So all these things put together give a confidence to the customer to buy that product. And that's what they are saying, that lot on the platform, especially on the marketplace, sellers have lots of innovations where they can make themselves much better within the same space. And these are the tools. Investing into lots of SEO, SCM kind of technology, where so that product can come up. Start having feedback. Positive feedback has to be showcased as a content, so that their search has to be pushed up by various search platforms. So all these things make one better sellers, or they can do more businesses online. I think that's how, and these are the things one has to master by investing time, knowing more and more, going into the detail. I think one has to understand.
Right, and a good place to do would be to begin perhaps and learn from one's experience as well. Right, and now let's quickly take the final question that has come in from Miraj.
मेरा नाम मोहम्मद मिराज शेख है, मेरी रिपेयरिंग की शॉप है, रिपेयरिंग और वायरिंग सब वो करता हूँ मैं। तो मेरा ये सवाल था कि मतलब मुझे ऑनलाइन का कुछ सोचना है, जैसे कि अभी मैंने बहुत सारे बिजनेस देखा ऑनलाइन हो रहे, अर्बन क्लैब, ये बहुत सारे हर तरह के हैं। तो मुझे भी कुछ ऐसा ऑनलाइन सोचना था, जैसे कि कस्टमर फ़ोन करे वर्क के लिए। तो मुझे एक्सपीरियंस तो है, 10 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, लेकिन मतलब मैं करना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन कहाँ से स्टार्ट करूँ ये सोच रहा हूँ मैं।
All right, Praval, if I can bring this question to you. Miraj is a small repair shop. He wants to sell his services. What is a good place to begin is the question, and how?
I think a marketplace and aggregator of sorts, where you can list yourself as an individual who has certain expertise, repair of air conditioning or whatever that is where you start, because again the entry barrier is the lowest there. Once you get there and you start getting what I would call leads or new customers, you learn the trades, the tricks of the trade over time, and you figure out that, okay, now I've built a customer base of 100+ people in this area. Do I need more customers? Do I need to widen my horizon in terms of looking for more leads? But oftentimes what happens is many of these services are very, very geo-local, right? A AC servicing guy probably has no value of a lead that is coming from 100 kilometers away, because it doesn't really make sense for that person. But that's where you start, at the marketplace level. And if things get better, for you're making money, you're growing a business, you probably end up hiring more people to work for you. That's how a business grows. You might one day want to establish yourself like a mini brand of sorts, and that does from repairing one item to repairing 10 items over time, right? And that's a journey. You start small, but you build that journey, right?
Right,
so
interesting.
that's the most common way of
start small, but do make a beginning. On that note, Dr. Rajiv Kanpal, Praval Singh, Sujit Kumar, thank you very much for sparing time to connect with us and answering all those questions that came in and helping us broaden our horizon about taking business online. Let's move forward. In this pandemic, sadly, many businesses shut down, but many not only survived, but also succeeded in becoming bigger and better. The key differentiator was going digital. Let's meet our digital hero of the day. This is the story of Zvatra.in.
It's extremely satisfying to know that something that was created in my kitchen is now available for sale all through the nation. My name is Ganesh Ram. I founded Zvatra in the year 2018. We make all natural peanut butter, free of chemicals and preservatives. Peanuts have always been a favorite at home. The idea was to use a local resource and to produce it into something that is extremely versatile in its use, and which is why we thought peanut butter should be something that we should work on. So when Zvatra started in 2018, I was operating out of my kitchen, produce everything at home, package it and deliver it myself. It primarily got sold through friends, through word of mouth, and I started putting up stalls at exhibitions, fairs, melas. So once the nationwide lockdown was put down, I had lost complete access to all of my customers who I'd meet on a very regular basis. The only option at that point of time was to try and get the business business going online. I had known Karthik and Vasu for a while until then, and it made sense to partner with them because I needed help on these two fronts with respect to moving online and increasing my production.
We actually listed ourselves on a delivery platform. Even during the lockdown, we were able to make sales. Slowly, once the sales started picking up, we eventually, started listing ourselves on more platforms, and then we went on to social media. Social media and other platforms, though, were putting our brand out there, they didn't tell our story. So through a website, we could actually put out our story as well. So around August, we started our own website, Vatra.in. And now we are able to deliver across India. So before we went online, we were producing around 100 jars of peanut butter a month. Now that we have gone online, we are producing and selling 100 jars of peanut butter in 2 days.
The pandemic has been extremely challenging for everyone, and while businesses have been shutting shop, I think I've been lucky and fortunate to be able to expand during this time. Peanut butter is something that I'm super passionate about, and it's been extremely satisfying to know that I'm able to reach all through the country with the help of the internet and online platforms.
So like Vatra.in, you can also transform the destiny of your business. And with that, we come to the close of this edition of Namaste Digital. Hope you will use the tools and learning to help your business meet its true potential. We'll meet next week again to take our digital journey forward. Stay safe, go online.